Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for March Comes in Like a Lion, chapter 161. When we last left our heroes, we had the match between Nobidome and Kiriyama that ended in Kiriyama's victory, but Azusa wasn't really feeling too bad about it. He felt like he had a good match. Kiriyama's coming to grips with the fact that he is reaching a point where he has to completely improvise his moves more often, and I imagine we'll be seeing that more in the future. But let's jump right on into Chapter 161, Path Part 1. Also, this is a super short chapter of like 10 pages, but alright, we're going to deal with that. The railway line continues, and Azusa travels along it, no matter where it goes. Our picture here is Nobidome running in front of a train. And I just got pop-up ad added, I don't know. Anyway, when I saw the text from you, it's the text that ended the last chapter. Hinata texting him, "We're having corn stew today. There's plenty of corn. We had 2 whole cans somehow." And when I saw the text from you, my chest started thumping, and I learned the location of my heart. So yeah, we're going. I guess it's going to be more of a. Ever since I started doing this series, it's been just about one match. So I guess we're now going back into more of the Kawamoto relationships. Anyway, and when you called my name, "Ray-chan, today's stew was really good. We had 2 cans of corn, so there's plenty. Also, it's got chopped sausage in it. It goes really well with the stew." When you called my name, the exterior solidified, and he pulls up a spoon of the stew to his mouth. And with the stew sliding down my throat, I learned of my insides. And I finally, and we have this, before I go any further, there's this bit of Momo, like, snorting. "Momo wants stew all the time, every day!" As Ray lets out a little delicious. I learned of my insides, and I finally remembered to take a deep breath. And we have this image of him falling out of a pool of water overhead onto, like, grass below him. And then we cut to the next morning, and Ray's back in his house. His apartment, and his alarm clock goes off, wakes him up. And then it was October, and the Shishio Tournament Group 4 Finals. And he walks over. This is the Lion King tournament, right? That was a big part of Season 1, right? If I'm not mistaken, my Japanese is non-existent, so I can't say that for sure, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. My fuel for the morning of the match was 2 meat buns and a can of coffee. In my head, I went over all the game records I'd been studying up last night as I went down the path to the station. And there's this image of him walking on a shogi board as like papers are flying all around him. Concentrate, 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 concentrate. Concentrate, concentrate. The reason I repeated it like a magical incantation, because it felt like if I let my mind wander even a little, my mind would gently melt and dissipate. The back and forth of the gentle melting and scraping it back together and solidifying is something I still can't control that well. As bad as it sounds, back of my heart was covered in a rough iciness. There was less resistance and less distance to travel before sinking into the dark pit of concentration. So I guess a part of him, I hope it's a small part of him. I hope it's not him, but a part of him is like, oh, it was easier when I was depressed. I didn't like care about anything. I could just focus on shogi. Now that I found the Kawamotos, that's like a harder. I'm more aware of what a bad place this is. I think it's kind of what his mindset is. Though I will say. So we have this light, happy side up top. That's the Kawamoto's house and like the bridge and all that. Then there's this dark pit that's kind of, I guess, more negatively shown that includes the Shogi Hall. Which I don't think this is going to happen. There's certainly not enough evidence for this. But it makes you wonder if maybe we're gearing up for an endgame of Ray retiring. Of that being his final arc. Of Shogi never being able to really be a positive influence for him after everything that's happened. I don't know. What I have now is a luxury, really. And that bit of hardship is a small price to pay for it. So, yeah. So I'm glad that he's not just, oh, why do I have to be happy now? I don't have the slightest inclination of giving it up. And today, in the Shishio Tournament Group 4 Finals, my opponent is Tanaka Ichiro 7-Dan. Good morning. Oh, good morning. And it's, we see Ichiro. I think that's Nobidome's teacher, correct? Who we saw in the last arc. So yeah, there's that. My honest feeling is, I expected a young person to survive all the way to the Group 4 finals. But Tanaka-san tore the young and mid-range aged players apart and made his way here. He's been doing well in the rank-deciding matches this period, too. I want to progress on the main tournament onto the main tournament bracket more than anything. So for the past few weeks, I've been going over Tanaka 7 Don's game records constantly. And then I realized he had a playstyle of breaking down the opponent with an adroit defense and then pushing on to victory. But in the last 1 or 2 years, he's been changing up his style to, if you see an opening, step on the accelerator without hesitation and switch to attacking. So this chapter so far feels very much like the kind of pre-match preparation chapter before we get into the next chapter. Will presumably be the bulk of the match, or the opening of the match itself, which is the opposite of what I was expecting. I was expecting this to be going back to the Kawamotos, but I guess not. Anyway, changing one's playstyle is an incredibly difficult task for players of any experience level, but he chose to change his up even when he's past 50 years old, and actually improved his game because of it. We flash back to him looking at a game record. Hold on, what's going on in this game? He's guarding against everything, but instead of holding back and wearing his opponent down, he went straight for the gut the moment he saw his opponent left an opening. Are you serious? This is actually insanely cool. A man that took his own tried-and-true method, broke it to pieces, and rebuilt it from the ground up. That's the person I'm playing today. It is now 10 o'clock. Please begin. Let's have a good game. And Sangatsu no Lion continues August 9th, Friday, which is this Friday, so it's coming out super soon. So yeah, I don't have I'm trying to remember if Tanaka had been brought up before the last arc. He probably was like a background character or hanging around in the Shogi Hall before, because Umino is generally really good at having characters be in the background before they become relevant. But yeah, I'm curious to see. So it's a not uncommon thing. It's practically the norm in Lion to spend a lot of time on Rei's opponents, so that we get to kind of humanize with them, get to see what their deal is, and spend most of our Rei focus on the non-shogi chapters, I feel like. But this is definitely a shogi match that we're watching fully from Rei's perspective. Which is definitely different from last time. It was almost entirely in Nobidome's head. So I imagine it's going to be a pretty big match for Rei. Because as we saw, it was just last chapter, we had that whole, I'm just facing better opponents, and they all know my moves more, and so they're going to be better able to strike back against me. And I imagine we're going to see the results of that, or a continuation of that thread, in the match with Ichiro Tanaka. Is that his name? I already forgot. Yeah, Tanaka Ichiro. But I guess I'll have to wait and see about that next time, because the next chapter is coming out really soon. I saw that the Scam Leader group is already working on it. They said on their announcement for this chapter. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, don't forget to leave me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!